Hello everyone, Big Mike here, aka Kari from Purple Laugh Trip, and this is what I promised to do a few days ago regarding the Hajime No Ippo situation. You can call this a review, you can call this an opinion, whichever. We're pretty much going to talk about uh, what I think is happening, what other people are thinking would happen if the series still continues, and also if it won't. Now, I've been a fan of Hajime no Ippo since the anime came out here in our country, and it's an awesome anime. Then, as the anime stopped, uh, pretty much tried to look for other options, and I found out that the manga was still ongoing, and there you have it. I've been reading the manga. Uh, and ever since, I very again thoroughly enjoyed the story. All the funny parts, all the sad parts, all the very intense situations, especially with Takamura's fight. To be honest, everybody's fight is awesome. Even Aoki's fight, the fight where he finally had a chance to go toe to toe with a champion for a championship match. Even though there were some silly, silly tricks there, which again, it's Aoki. And probably my most favorite part, or probably top five, if you may, moments of Hajime no Ippo is the one panel where Aoki, when he turned his head to look somewhere else, everyone, literally everyone, not only the champ, but everyone turned the same way as Aoki was facing, and then pow, frog punch right on your freaking face. Yeah, again, those were good times. Now, if you've been following the the channel, and I'm sure you've seen my live reactions to Hajime no Ippo for the recent match that he has with, I forgot the guy's name. He's the Filipino champion. I had this feeling that he would lose. I even said that on the live reactions that it feels that Ippo's going to lose. He's not really going to have a comeback match. He's really not going to be able to win this match because it kept going back and forth. And usually Ippo's matches, yes, they do that, but not as consistent as this one, like with the fight with Gonzalez, where you see one time Gonzalez pretty much has the advantage, and then Makonochi for a few chapters after takes the advantage, and so on and so forth. It just goes back and forth. It pretty much did the same thing here, and if you think about it, it ended the same way. Ippo was going for the Dempsey roll, and he got clobbered in the face, and whammo! Flat on his face. Is down for the count. Three knockdown rule. Match is over. Um, this was very troublesome, and again, in my end, I'm sure a lot of you folks would say painful, because during the part where you know the chapter is about to end, Ippo, Ippo, the guy that we've been following ever since this manga started, had declared, again, so far, and pretty much accepted that he's punch drunk. He has brain damage. Now, that's tough to swallow, especially for a lot of peeps. On my end, it's good storytelling. I like how it pretty much progressed, how it was paced. We again, I was racking my brain trying to figure out what the hell's gonna happen with this, because I still have this lingering feeling that Ippo would taste the map, and that's pretty much what happened. Ippo will lose this match, he will retire, because that's what he said, that's what he promised. If he loses this match, it's done. No more boxing. He'll just pretty much retire, probably be with Kumi, and just run the family business. Now, that bugs me a lot because we still have Takamura's match coming up. And are we going to get the full match? If we do, it feels a little off. But at the same time, I know it will be a great match, as every Takamura match, except for the funny ones, are serious wise. But if it is going to be a serious, again, if it's going to be a serious match, but I digress. We still have a match happening, so we can say that the manga ain't over yet. But for how long? It has reached the 1,200 mark already. How long can George still keep up on producing good quality content, good quality stories for us, his fans? How long? He, on George's end, he has just had a hiatus because of health problems. Very recently. We know how the manga industry treats its artists. We know how harsh, how pretty much how much it eats a person's time, how much the industry asks for it from you, and for as long as I can remember, Hajime no Ippo has been running for 28 freaking years. Georgie has been doing this for 28 goddamn years. I don't know if the guy has a family or not, but at the end of the day, this has been his life. He's focused on this. He's focused on the fans. He's focused on making us happy. And seeing that this series is getting closer to its end, again, it's not a sad situation. It's just that the way that Evil lost here makes me feel that this is the end. But at the same time, it feels a little too early. 1,200 chapters. What are you talking about? How do you mean it's too early? This thing should have ended a long time ago. That's what you say. Not a lot of people share the same opinion as you, but on my end, I feel it's a little too short and a little bit rushed, because I would have liked it that Ippo somewhat fought against the Mexican dude that beat Date. Win or not doesn't matter, as long as he was able to, really provide a good fight. It's just it's now there's been a lot of theories coming around talking about stuff like Ippo will retire, go with Kumi, going the Date route. After a few years, he'll come back, do the same style as Date, go back to Komagawa, and pretty much have a return match, be the champion, come back, and then uh, fight Gonzalez again, because more likely the guy who beat Date is no longer capable of going toe to toe with Ippo, who is already old, which on my end I highly doubt, because this is manga universe, dudes. This is manga universe. I don't know. Probably 5 years he's still taking. He can still pack a wall up with his right hand and knock people's heads off. That's a possibility. But if they're going that route, nothing wrong about it. But if George says that he's already done with this series after the fight with Takamura, he suddenly says that I can't do it anymore. My health's already in jeopardy. I need to finally end this series. It's gonna be a bit of a downer. And if that's the case, I understand where George is. Uh, again, what George is pretty much trying to, uh, what message he's trying to show in terms of the boxing industry, and how great boxers had to end their career in a short time just because of injuries such as brain damage. There are other boxing mangas where the main protagonist died. I forgot the name of the cat. I forgot the name of that or the title of that manga, but I'm sure you guys probably know. You can talk about it in the comment section. You'll probably say to me, "The guys, the title is this. Title is this." Yeah, yeah. I haven't read that anyway, but just found out that there is a similar boxing manga out there where the protagonist died because of the same possible situation as Ippo. But seeing Ippo losing and accepting that he has brain damage, that he is no longer going to be able to do the thing that he loves. The point is, this is something that he loves, literally. He doesn't want to leave it for the fact that this is something that he was good at and he wants to continue doing it because this is the first time in his life, or this is the first thing in his life where he's proud to say that he was able to do something good with the help, again, of the coach and everybody else in the gym. Now, those are two things that could happen. Again, the Date route, or completely ending the series with Ippo accepting that he's no longer capable of boxing because of his injuries. Probably just acting like a trainer, or retiring, uh, continuing the family business. That's the more likely route to go into, and retiring with Kumi. But I also have some others things that's possible as well. Ippo might retire, or would retire, or will retire. But before that, again, the Kamagawa gym always does this farewell entourage where everybody has to have a match with you. After everybody takes their cheap shots at Ippo, and Ippo pretty much knocks them out except Takamura, comes in Miyata. And we finally get the Miyata versus Ippo fight that we've been wanting to see, just in a very lackluster situation. It's not an official match. And it ends on a situation where we didn't know who pretty much won. Possible? Yeah, absolutely. Now there's another option in that end. Either they do say their farewells to Ippo, uh, you know, give him a match. Each and every one of them gives him a match in the ring. Miyata was called. He came in and he said, it's either he does fight again. I don't believe he won't fight Ippo. He will probably fight Ippo, even if it's not an official match. But at the end, Miyata would win, and he would say thank you, but I'm very disappointed and stuff like that. And he would just walk off, disappointed, angry, both himself and Ippo because they weren't able to do the match that they wanted. And pretty much Ippo would cry as he is, feeling regretful, and we'll get a time skip. And they're pretty much the situation where the Date route, where Ippo retires and comes back in the boxing field because he needs boxing in his life, and Kumi sees him being miserable because he can't do the thing that he loves to do, even though again, we all know Ippo loves Kumi, but at the end of the day, a man loves something more other than himself, other than the person he loves, and that is the thing that he's passionate about, the thing that he wants to do. And on Ippo's situation, it's boxing. And Kumi encourages him to pretty much do what he wants, and he comes back to Kamagawa Gym, gets a comeback match, wins the match. Everybody was doubting him, even up to the point where he's already fighting uh, whoever the Mexican champion would be, Gonzalez or the guy who beat Date, whichever. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, they doubt people because of the brain damage situation. Because some other folks, some folks think, and again, I would wish that that would be the case. Because at this situation, I would take whatever George would put on the manga, would put on the series, and I'll take it. That's fine by me. Because the way the manga has been, it's been great. It's been an awesome ride. If for some odd reason, or for some reason, we found out that this Ippo was really not brain damage, it's just that he was so fixated in the situation, he was so worried that he pretty much was causing himself to break down to the point that he thinks, he damn thinks that he is punch drunk, that he has brain damage to the point that he doubted himself. And the whole reason why he kept on failing is because of that particular doubt on himself, and it bit him on the butt, knocked him out. Pretty much that self-doubt destroyed his career as a boxer from this point until probably the time skip, and he comes back. That's again questionable if that's the route that we're gonna take. If a time skip is what we're gonna do, sure, I'm all for it. I want to see how Ippo looks after a time skip, if he's gonna have a beard and all that stuff. But it's just very sad the way that this match ended. People are calling Ippo a wimp, or again, becoming who he was at the start of the manga. I would say no. Who the hell are you to say that? Ippo had grew to be an awesome character, grew to be an amazing boxer, and you calling him a wimp because he has brain damage? Fool! If you have brain damage, you would also feel the same way, dude. You're not God. You're not the devil. You're not anyone who's, super cool out there and say, yeah, I'm shrugging it off. Even though I have brain damage, I can still knock you out. Hey, dude, I may not have brain damage, but I don't want to have that. Because at the end of the day, if I have problems with my brain, I might end up forgetting a lot of things that I want to know, things that I want to remember from this point onward, onwards. I don't want that. I don't want to be in a situation where I can't feel anything in my body. I don't want to be in a situation where I'll be ending up in a wheelchair. I don't want to be in a situation like that. Again, nothing offensive to anyone who's in that, in that particular status right now, but nobody wants, nobody wished, nobody wanted for Ippo or for anyone for that matter to be in, again, to be in a state that they are now. If Ippo is brain damaged, sad, but at the same time, I'm sure he doesn't regret it because at the end of the day, he did the thing that he loved to do. I'm sure that's something that we'll probably say during his, again, goodbye speech with the guys in the locker. But he would still regret the idea that he's not going to be able to, to do boxing anymore. I'm sure of that. If and only if he retires and the manga ends, or he retires and comes back. Again, that's pretty much the situation that we're having right now. It's either the manga ends, or we get a time skip. That's the situation. Or we don't really have a time skip. He just needs a lot of years to pretty much recuperate and come back. Or he figures out he doesn't have brain damage, he's just a fool, and he just made himself worry so much that he wasn't able to concentrate at all. Because again, the whole situation about this is about Ippo hitting or being hit in the head too many times having so many times, having been concussed too many times. Because again, we've seen the art style of George, and we've seen the internal organs, the muscles, everything being pummeled to pretty much dust with this manga. And we saw the way his brain bounced back and forth inside his head with, I think, several matches. And it pretty much highlighted the idea that George is going to go to this direction in the near future, where Ippo will have an arc where it's focused on brain damage. Heck, we were introduced to Dakota, who is legit punch drunk. He's pretty much like Muhammad Ali. Again, I'm under the impression that's the same thing. If not, again, correct me, please. That's fine, correct me. Comment section down below, guys. It's free for you to talk about it. But at the end of the day, Dakota can't control his body anymore. He keeps forgetting stuff. That's pretty much how Ippo is feeling. And that's how he thinks and that's how he thinks what's happening right now to him. And that's what, and again, that's supposedly, based on what people are talking about, is the cause of Ippo losing this match. I know I've been going back and forth about the same thing, but it's just, the manga's been something that I've been reading for a long time. I would love it to end where Ippo is champion. That would be a very feel-good moment. But even if he didn't win against that Mexican champ, that's fine. It's still going to be a feel-good moment, because at the end of the day, he got the champ reeling. Stuff like that, and he would retire, finally finding out what the meaning of strength is. That's another thing. Is he now able to find out? Because I don't believe he has found the answer to his question since the start of the series. What is the meaning of strength, of power? What does it mean for him? I don't believe we'll get that in a way that we would like it, or I would like it. But if George is able to do so, great. It's just, I don't know. A part of me doesn't want this series to end. I really do, and I'm not saying that some part of me, or a few inches, or a small portion of me says that I want this series to end already. Water. It's not that. It's not that at all. But if the series ends like this, it ends in a very sad note. I don't like sad stuff. I want everything to be, hunky dory. Now, you would say, not every series has to be like that. I agree. But it doesn't mean that you can have a very sad situation and end up not liking it. It can be a situation where, yes, something sad happened. It's not what you pretty much expected, but you accepted it because it was done well. On this end, I just don't see it ending the way it did. But if it is, I just hope George is able to pick up and make a good chapter, or the next coming chapters, where we know at least it ended in a way where we're happy. And that's the only thing I want. Hajime no Ippo, 28 freaking years. Hooks, straights, jabs, gazelle punches, liver blows, and goddamn Dempsey rolls. If it still continues, great. awesome. I'll still be reading. Still be reading one of the best mangas out there, one of the best sports mangas out there. You can contest that all you want. I don't care. If you want to fight, sure, we'll do. Fight me. Don't care. I'll still say that it's one of the best, if not the best, sports manga out there. If you guys have some opinions, some theories that you're hiding that you just want to talk about with me, again, the comment section is open for you guys to put your opinions out there. I want to hear it because at this moment, I'm just really bummed on how Ippo just accepted that he's done. He's done for. He's apologizing to coach for lying, things like that. Dude, you didn't lie. The doctors pretty much said it themselves. You're okay. You're good. You can fight. You're not punch drunk. Medically cleared. But if you're saying it's something sporadic and that's really how it is, right, that's what the message of that's the message George is pretty much trying to get out. Boxing is a sport where your life, your career is always on the line. Every match, not only you have to give it your all, but at the end of the day, you have to make sure after that you'll still be able to carry on and do another match. If not, that's the last. Every match, think of it as your last. Make sure you're safe. Make sure you're okay. To any boxer out there who's, struggling, wants to make a career out of the sport, I applaud your dedication. I applaud how you want to entertain us with your feats, with your strengths, with all your tenacity in the ring. But at the end of the day, it's a very dangerous sport. One mistake, one punch could just tear everything up. Break every foundation you've built into nothing. One concussion, and it just leads to more. So again, guys, as we didn't really talk about the chapter, we pretty much just talked about the whole situation that happened about Hajime no Ippo. If you guys have, as I said, if you guys have any thoughts, opinions, this is where I really want to know your opinions. I want to know what your thoughts are, what your thoughts are, what you think will happen, what you think will not happen. Because this is a manga that's been running for 28 years. It's been something in the 90s. This is something that we grew up with, and as it's nearing its end, it would be nice to know who else out there took notice of this very awesome series, to know how you felt, to know what your thoughts are, what are the great moments you probably had about this series. Talk about it. Put it in the comment section below. I want to read it. I want to know. I want to talk to you guys. Because this probably is one of the only situations where I really, really do want to know what you think. Because this series deserves it. It accompanied us through a lot of stuff. I'm sure a lot of you probably read it while you were down in the dumps, or angry at something, and you were happy how everybody was so freaking corny, so freaking funny. All the matches that are awesome. You got hype. You were happy. So yeah, again, leave your thoughts down below. If you guys like this chapter, or no, sorry, not chapter, but if you guys like the series, say it. Alright. Wow. This, again, this definitely is not going to be the end of any Hajime no Ippo content in this channel, because we still have a few more chapters to go to, more likely. If you want to get more, if you want to know, if you want to hear more, see more content of Hajime no Ippo, YouTube is the place to be. Purple Lab Trip is the place to be. Manga Stream is where you need to read it to, read it at. Sorry. Yeah. Have a great day. Have an awesome week, guys. Spirit. Too sweet.